Hello everyone, I Dhananjay Gupta welcome you all on behalf of Hindu Center of Atlanta. It's have been several weeks now. We have learned
Hello
Gayatri
everyone, I
Mantra
Dhananjay Gupta
and
welcome you all on behalf of
after that Mahamrityunjay Mantra. We understand the meaning of that. Acharya is helping us to correct our pronunciation. Acharya has joined from Mauritius. Uh, we, as everybody knows, we are joined for the series Sanatan Dharm Simplified. In this program, we learn Vedic mantras and their meaning. One of the participants read a story and we learn the morals from that story. Uh, Today again, we are fortunate to have Acharya Brahmadev amongst us. Over to Acharya ji.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Let's sit down straight, keep the body relaxed, close the eyes gently, and we'll be chanting Gayatri Mantra together once, and then we'll proceed further. So keep yourself on mute so that it doesn't make echo, and chanting Gayatri Mantra. When we chant Gayatri Mantra, listen to our own pronunciation. And while listening to the own pronunciation, we can feel the sound waves and the vibrations coming back to us. Deep inhale, and then 3 times Om, and then Gayatri Mantra. Om. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently, slowly open the eyes and keep the focus. So let's listen to everyone doing Gayatri Mantra one round, and then we'll listen to your stories. Okay, let's, Avya, just start, please.
Okay. Om Bhurva Swaha Tapiturvarenyam Devasya Devi Diyo Yona Pachodayat.
Okay, that's progressing well. Kushi, please.
Om Bhurva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
I think you just slipped on the BH instead of the B. Last week was better. It's Bhur, Bhuvaha, and Bhargo. And then it's Devasya Dhimahi. Just repeat, please.
Om Bhurvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
Okay, just next week you keep the script with you when you have to do the chanting. You'll get it well. Don't worry. Next, please. Okay, Aditya is coming forward. Aditya, please.
Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodaya.
Okay, I think you just made one step backward on Bhargo. Otherwise, else was right. Just remember the points I'm telling you, get it better next time. Next. Okay. Ayush, please.
Um, Om Bhurbhuvaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
You get it good, but then I think Dhimahi was just Dhimahi. Just pay attention to that. Then next, Aryan, please. Aryan? Okay, Yash.
Om
Chanting right? Yes, please.
Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
Then rest was okay. It's
Close
only
करो उसको.
Devasya and Dhimahi. And then Dhiyo Yo. Devasya
Multiplies
was
कर
good,
बेटा.
but then you continue on that. You said Dhimahi and Dhiyo. It's Dhimahi and Dhiyo. Aryan, please.
बार बोल रहे हैं आचार्य जी.
Om Bhurbhuvaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
That was much better than previous times, but then remember it was, you started with Bur instead of Bhur. Rest was okay. Then there's one on Shrika. Who is this, please? Srika. So you can do the chanting. Just put on your video. Okay. Now we'll listen to your stories, kids, if you have one. Yeah, Khichi, please.
I don't have a story, but I have lots of Indian books about different stories.
Yeah, but then I said you just pick up one of the stories which is inspiring, which gives a good lesson and can motivate others. That's no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Then somebody else, please. Yes, Aditya.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
So one day there was a crow who found a piece of cheese. So the crow took the piece of cheese to her nest. She was about to eat it until she saw a fox. And the fox saw the piece of cheese and started to get hungry. So the fox said, "You are the most beautiful crow I've ever seen. I like your feathers and your wings. I would also like your voice too. Could you please sing for me?" So the crow started to sing, but while the crow was singing, the crow dropped the piece of cheese into the fox's hands and the fox ate it. And the moral of the story is never do what strangers say unless you know them.
The other part of the story is never, never listen to flatterers. Those who just praise you and then get what they want. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I also learned that when I was a kid. It says the cunning fox and the crow. Yes, Kushi, did you get your story? Okay, no problem. She will come. Anybody can tell anything. This week is Krishna Janmashtami. So we celebrate, I would rather say we celebrate the life of Sri Krishna by remembering.
I have a story of Krishna.
Just 1 minute, please. Krishna Janmashtami, we celebrate the life of Sri Krishna, remembering the good things he did for humanity at large. I'm not saying for Hindus, but for the whole of humanity. There's lots and lots to learn from his life and the teachings through the Gita. Yes, Kushi, I'll listen to you now.
I have a whole story about Krishna.
Yeah, I just want one small story.
Different part.
Yeah.
Okay. Krishna's miraculous birth. Once there lived a cruel king named Kansa in Mathura. When his sister Devika married Vidusa, Kansa exhorted them to their home as he drove their chariot. He heard a voice from the sky telling him that their eighth child would kill him if he was furious. He wanted to kill Devaki immediately, but Vasudevi stopped him by promising that he would hand over their eighth baby to Kansa right after birth. But Kansa's anger made him impression. Devika and Vasudeva, you will live in prison till I kill all your children, right up to the eighth one, said Kansa. All the guards in the prison were put on alert. Soon, Davanki delivered her first baby. Evil Kansa rushed to the prison and without so much as a thought, dashed to the baby's head against the wall and killed it. Oh my lord, why don't I die instead of seeing my innocent baby being put to death in front of my eyes? Wailed Davanki. There was nothing they couldn't do but lame it in prison till the arrival of their divine child. After some years, Devaki was ready to deliver the eighth baby. Kansa is sure to kill this one too, said the scared Devaki to Vasudeva. Don't worry about me. Don't worry, my beloved. The Lord is sure to show us a way, repealed Vasudeva, and soon enough there was a flash of light in the room, and they heard a divine voice. Lord Vishnu is soon to be reborn as your son. Take him to Gurukul, to Nad's house, and bring back Nad's daughter to the present, said the voice. Soon the eighth baby will be born without a cry. All the guards in the prison fell miraculously asleep, and Vasudeva's chains let go of him on their own. Vasudeva carried Krishna, the newborn, in a basket and walked towards Gurukul in the pouring rain. The river Yamana's water is getting higher, and there is such a storm. How will I cross it, though? Vasudeva, in a flash of a second, the river parted, and sashing Lord Vishnu's devotes spreaded, followed them, shielding the baby from the heavy rain.
Yeah. But the most important part of the life of Sri Krishna is when he gives the teachings of the Gita, which is the sermon on the battlefield. When the two armies, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, were standing one against the other, Arjun was in a fix. On the other side were his cousins, were the gurus, the teachers, were the elderly relatives also. Standing to fight them, that came into his mind, the war is going to kill so many people who are near and dear to me. He asked Krishna to put his chariot in between the two armies just to inspect. And when he was there, he just went down on the chariot and told Krishna that, no, that's not a fight I'm going to do. Then Krishna tells him, just look, it's a battle where people would be killed, but remember that the soul continues its journey. This is not the first life, and this would be not the final life of the soul within the body. And he gave the motivation to Arjun that these people in the opposing army were just unjust, unfair, and one way to say cruel to the Pandavas and to the people, because it was not a just and fair rule. They had stripped the Pandavas of their dues. They had maligned, did evil actions, and Krishna, the lesson of the Gita is the triumph of goodness over evil. And when Arjun listened to the sermon in the midst of the battlefield, which is the Gita, then he took up the arms and fought along with his brothers and the army and won the war against Duryodhana. Arjun was a very good archer, very good in archery. The small stories also in their lives. One, Kushi told us about the birth of Krishna, but Arjun is known as a fine archer. And once there was a competition, there was one bucket of water, one fish on a pole, wooden fish, rotating there, and they had to look into the water and shoot the arrow up into the eye of the fish. So everybody tried it, they missed, they couldn't do it. And Arjun just looked at the bucket, was focused, and shot the arrow up straight into the eye of the wooden fish. Asked how he did it, he said, I didn't see the bucket, I didn't see the water, I didn't see the fish, I was seeing only the eye of the fish. So that shows to us the amount of focus we have to bring whenever we are on our path to achieve goals in life. That is one episode. The other episode which I would relate refers to the famous Bhishma Pitamaha. Bhishma Pitamaha, he fought against the Pandavas, though he knew the Pandavas was right. All the elderly and the gurus knew that the Pandavas were right, and Duryodhan and the army on the other side, the Kauravas, were wrong. And yet they fought the battle on the side of the Kauravas. And when Bhishma Pitamaha fell under the arrows of Arjun, then Yudhishthir and the Pandavas went along, not to sympathize, but then to learn the life lessons. Bhishma Pitamaha was telling good things to them, and to one question of Yudhishthir, Bhishma was their grandfather. And they said, "Grandfather, how come that now you are telling us the good things of life, how to live life properly, but then yet you fought on the opposite army?" He said, "Look, I had been with them for, I think, 13 years, eating their food, using all the facilities that they were giving to me, and I had loyalty to them in spite of knowing that you are on the right side and they were on the wrong side." And they said, "Look, this is the effect of not being careful on what we do in our lives, what we eat, where we eat, who is giving us food, etc., etc." And the lesson from there is, as kids, it's advisable to follow the guidance of your parents. Just give me 1 minute. Your parents know best from their life experiences and from the knowledge they have, what they will give you to eat, where they'll bring you, and everything. They won't bring you to an environment which may divert you from the goals you want to achieve. So there's no need to be fussy about it. It's just listening to parents, learning from their life experiences and from the knowledge they are sharing to us. So that's one lesson. But remember, it's the triumph of good over evil. And we have to remember that whenever we are in a fix, like Arjun was in the battlefield, just be with a calm mind. Think about what you need to do to reach your goals. And if the ways and means that you are thinking about are not right, just give a pause, think again before you do it. This week, we also saw the laying of the foundation of the Ram Mandir. That's a big event, restoring a temple which was destroyed about 900 years back. And the fight to restore this mandir is about 500 years old. Lots to learn again from the life of Sri Ram. Ramayan is a Ram Ayan. It's two words combined, and this is the life story of Sri Ram. And remember, Sri Ram is remembered as Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram Chandraji. Maryada means one person who has a framework of principles in his life. And those principles led him to be known as the ideal son, the best of brothers, the best of friends, the best of husband for Sita. It gives a whole example in various aspects of life. While he was a kid, he was the best to learn, and he was very sharp in his learning. When he grew up, he proved himself to be a good brother to his siblings, a good friend for the Vanar when he got Bali down and rested others. When Vibhishan joined him, it was just nurturing friendship, and he was the ideal husband for Sita. So these steps in his life teaches us so many things. Probably I will tell you and look for stories about Sri Ram and Krishna, Sri Krishna, which inspires us to be good people. Like I've taken two parts of the life of Krishna, there are so many things in the life of both of them. So just learn the kids' stories about Sri Ram and Sri Krishna, more about what they did as life lessons to us. And these are really inspiring figures in the Hindu culture. And these are not only stories, these are called epics or itihas. Ramayana was there in the Treta Yuga, which is about 1 million years ago. And the Mahabharata, the story of the Gita, was at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, which is about 5,200 years ago. Reading these stories are always inspiring, and we'll learn lots and lots about the values, the principles of being a good person in life. And these are real examples of learning Sanatan Dharma by reading the Ramayana, the Gita, the Upanishads, the Panchatantra stories.
I have a book about the Panchatantra stories, and I watched the Ramayana.
That's good. So just be inspired by these life stories of these people. We'll go back to the mantra chanting. We'll be doing Mahamrityunjay mantra, one round, everybody.
There's three more.
Who is going to start Mahamrityunjay mantra? Trayambakam yajamai. Yes, Adi?
Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmi Bandhanan Mityur Mukshi Mamata.
Good. Next. Okay, yes, Khushi.
Om Bhurbhuva Swaha.
No. It was Mahamrityunjay. Trayambakam yajamai.
Om Trambakam Yajamaham Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urvarukave Vandhanam Mrityurmuchi Mamritat.
Do you have the script with you? Just look at the script and you chant it after the others. Looking at the script, you will chant it looking at the script. Next, please. Can I have Aryan chanting? Yes.
Okay. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urva Rukmi Bandhanan Mityor Mukshi Mamrita.
Good. Next, please. Yash.
Okay. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urva Rukmi Vandanan Mityor Mukshi Mamritat.
Yeah, that's good. Ayush, please.
Okay. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Iva Bandhanan Mityor Mukshya Mamritat.
It's Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam.
Okay.
Can you just repeat that part, Ayush?
Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanan.
Then it's Urvarukmiva.
Urvarukmiva.
That's good. Chant it again, the whole mantra.
Okay. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanan Urvarukmiva Bandhanan Mityor Mukshya Mamritat.
Just remember, Urvarukmiva goes in one flow. Urvarukmiva. Next time you'll get it better. Then, anybody else? Adi, your sister's with you. Just tell her. Yeah, come forward, please.
Bhavya
Om
is waiting.
Kam Yajamahi Sugandham Puste Vardhanam Urva Rukmi Bandhanat Mitroy Mukshya Mametat.
Good. Then,
Bhavya is
next,
waiting.
Avya.
Trimbakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtin Vardhanam Urvakamiva Bandhanana Mitroy Mukshya Mametat.
Okay, that's good. Can I have Khushi again on the mantra, please?
Om Trambakam Yajamaham Sugandham
No, Khushi, I told you just get the script. It's not Yajamahim, it's Yajamahe.
Pushtimahe Sugandham Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukavima Bandhanam Miturmuchi Mamridat.
Next time, please, everybody get the script with you.
Where do I
And
find
no, when you get the script, you'll recognize your own, and you'll do it much better. Because
where do you get the script? How do you get the script?
you get it in the Google search, Trayambakam, Mahamrityunjay Mantra. Otherwise, Dhananjay ji may send it to you on WhatsApp, no problem. Next time I'll get it on my laptop and then I'll share it with the screen. So that's very good, learning the mantras, learning the correct pronunciation. Why I used to emphasize on the correct pronunciation. I will give the example. If I say I am thinking, and instead of thinking I say sinking, the meaning changes. And mantras include praise, stuti, then pratna, prayers, and upasana is trying to be in communion with God, which is meditation. So, like I say, if the meaning changes, the prayer can change. It gives another connotation to that. And especially when prayers are chanted, they give a level of vibrations. Like when we chanted Gayatri Mantra in the beginning, and if you've sat down and listened to your own pronunciation, there's a level, vibrations level. And when you chant it as it should be, the vibrations are at the optimum level. And that silences you, bring you inner peace. And chanting, especially the Gayatri Mantra, then it starts activating the mind and fine-tuning the intellect to always be on the path of goodness in thoughts and in actions. That's the benefit of doing the correct chanting. So that's for today. Wish you be inspired by the life story of Krishna Janmashtami, when we'll be celebrating Krishna Janmashtami on the 11th. So one chanting of Mahamrityunjay mantra together, keeping yourself on mute mode, and with Om Shanti, we'll close up today. Please mute yourself, everybody. Yeah, that's good. It's no, the first one is Trayambakam. It's tree. It's T-R-A. Let me look at it, please. Show it to me full. Yajamahe. It's Mahe there. Then Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Continue, but you've moved it too fast. I've not seen the whole of it. I'm just saying. Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. It's Mrityor Mukshya. M-U-K. It's not M-O-K. We'll say that after, Kushi. Let's end this and then we can say it after.
Okay.
So let's sit down for chanting it together and then.
That's the one I have. That's the one I printed.
Yeah, it's some minor corrections there. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Vandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Vandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So namaste, everybody. Next week, I would suggest get short stories inspiring from the life story of Krishna and Sri Ram. So we can learn and share from that. Don't take it long, short things about one episode in the life where we can learn things. So thank you, everybody. And we'll end here. We'll see you next session, Friday next 9 p.m. And for the Hindu Center of Atlanta, we have the weekly services tomorrow, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. And for your parents, we'll invite them to join the session of Sunday night, 9 p.m. on the practical applications of yoga in day-to-day life. So thank you, everybody.